Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about replacing your CVT transmission. So if you guys are having issues with your transmission, the whining noise, going to safe mode and stuff like that, you're probably calculating like, should I fix this problem if it's happening a lot, or should I replace the transmission? So if you guys have looked into it, replacing the CVT transmission is a lot more expensive than replacing a conventional transmission in a car. And normally they don't rebuild the CVT transmissions. Normally when it goes bad, it's junk, and what they do is they'll replace it with a transmission from a junkyard, or a replacement transmission from a car that's been wrecked or whatever. They're gonna get the transmission from a salvage yard, eBay, wherever they get the transmission, and they're gonna take your old transmission now and they're gonna put it in. So they don't normally rebuild transmissions, CVT transmissions. One of the reasons being is that apparently there are it's just too complicated to work on. And normally replacing that transmission, it'll run you anywhere from, it'll run you like $1,800, $2,500, $3,000 to get the transmission and to put it in. And a lot of these cars, they're not worth it. You know, a lot of these older cars not worth it. I mean, that's the price they're pretty much going for, is about $4,000. Why even go and replace it and have them charge you that much money to work to do the work, putting in the transmission stuff? It's not really worth it. My transmission, I had a good deal on it. I went on Craigslist. All right, my transmission broke down, so what I did was I didn't go to one of these shops. I didn't roll into one of these shops and ask them about pricing and stuff like that. I did call up Craigslist. I called up Craigslist, the mechanics on Craigslist. I called them up, I looked them up, went down the list of mechanics that deal with CVT transmission. I called them up, I asked them what the prices were, and they pretty much ranged anywhere from $1,600 to like $2,500. A lot of them told me they gotta check out the car first before I give you the price, blah, 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 all that stuff, all right? However, I did get this mechanic who had a shop in the city, somewhere in the Bronx, and he told me $1,200 to install. That's $1,200 for the transmission itself and to install it. So I took a chance on that. I had no other choice, to tell you the truth. I had no other choice. It wasn't like I was able to you know, go out and get another car, and $1,200 wasn't that bad. And he guaranteed it for, I think he guaranteed it for 6 months. I don't know how much the mileage was that he guaranteed for, maybe like 20,000 miles or something like that. So it was like 6 months, 20,000 miles, something like that. So it was a really good deal. I had my car towed AAA all the way to the Bronx. I live about 45 minutes away from there. Don't know the whole entire area that well. Towed it there. And I do stuff like this because, you know, sometimes you gotta take chances. Towed it there, had them work on it. 2 days later, called me up, told me it was finished. I went back, picked up the car, and it drove fine without any issues. And I haven't really had any issues since, except for the safe mode issue. And normally with the safe mode, I'd have to, you know, drive, you know, above 80 to get that issue going. And this car's got like, when I went there, this car's got like, had like 200,000 miles. It's 80,000 miles later. You know, I still have that replaced transmission on here. You know, I had to change the motor oil every once in a while. You know, every once in a while after hearing that whine. But it's not a big deal. If I had to do it again, I probably would do it again. $1,200 was not, I mean, that was pretty much the only option I had besides going out and getting another car that was like $4,000, and I wasn't gonna do that. This car is pretty decent looking. It's not a bad looking car, and you know, it's a 2008, but it's pretty new looking inside and out. And they had the styling up until 2013. These cars, the Nissan Altimas, don't they don't, they're not really expensive on Craigslist. I'm looking, I went on Craigslist, checked it out, and you know, 2008, 2009s, they're going for like, you know, I've seen them as low as $3,000. Right now, they're going as low as $3,000. So I don't know why. One of the issues probably because of the CVT transmissions. That might be one of the reasons why it's selling as low as it is. But regardless, so I probably could have saved my original transmission if I knew anything about safe mode and the whining noise. I mean, I just drove it like that. The original transmission that I had, I drove it like that with the whine and noise until it broke down. Believe me, I went on Google. I did a whole lot of research. I did some research. Once I did a lot of research, but nowhere did it come up as limp mode or safe mode. Had no idea what that was. As far as when whining noise, I kept on punching in weird noises. Probably like what a lot of you guys are doing. You guys looking for information on that. but at this point, I have like 80,000 miles on my car, and the transmission worked out all right for $1,200. I got my money's worth. I'm not going to complain about that. But as far as a lot of you guys out there, I mean, okay, I got lucky with the deal. I don't know how lucky you guys are going to get with the deal as far as getting your transmission replaced with $1,200. I don't think that comes along too often. A lot of times, they're going to charge around $16, right around maybe like $2,200 if you're getting, some guy who's cutting you slack on the price or whatever. Or if you go to like one of these shops, one of these mechanic shops, I'm sure it's going to range from anywhere from $20 to $2,500, somewhere around there. And you guys are going to have to figure out, whether it's worth it. And my personal thought is, if you guys are going to change your transmission, you guys should change it after it breaks down. Like the belt breaks and you can't shift into gear. It won't shift into gear automatically. And I'm not talking about it going to safe mode or stuff like that. I mean, if all it's doing is whining and going to safe mode, you guys should probably just go and look up one of my videos to change the transmission fluid, and that would help your transmission out a lot, and it would cut down on the whining noise. It might come back. It probably will come back at some point or another. But it's still, your car is still pretty decent. It's still drivable. It's just, a little, you gotta change it up a little bit here and there, and you guys shouldn't have a problem with it. And I don't think you guys should go out and try to get a new transmission or replace it. Look for another transmission to replace it with. It's probably the cost itself. It makes it just not worth it, and you're not gonna know whether that new transmission you put in, that used transmission you put in, is actually going to be any better than what you got. So my recommendation is, if you guys have no other issue besides the whining noise and having the transmission go into safe mode on you, then just change the motor oil. You don't have to look, it's probably you guys don't have to go and consider replacing your transmission on your car. However, if it breaks down on you, like the belt breaks, the CVT transmission belt in your transmission breaks, and it won't shift into gear normally, and it stalls on you and stuff like that, it drives like crap, you're gonna have to either junk the car or get a replacement for your CVT transmission. So at that point, you guys would just have to consider, like, is the price of the car worth it? Because if it's not, then you guys should probably just go out and get like another car. Go out and buy another car, because CVT transmission replacements can be really, really, really expensive, and you guys gotta consider the price versus how much your car is worth. And if it's not worth it, probably shouldn't do it. And these cars aren't too expensive these days. If you guys buy them used, they're not really too expensive these days. You guys got bargain shop on like eBay or Craigslist, and you guys could find pretty decent cars out there for pretty decent prices.